So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. And we're winding down today with this fantastic 2022 Chilean Shiraz. And this one is the Tarapacá. And I hasn't had a bit of a punch on the fresh pour right straight from the bottle during the first grid. But it has calmed down significantly since then. It had been sitting in the cellar for the last, well, almost 3 years. And so, plus it's been through a couple of moves as well. And, but it has calmed down with some oxygenation. And, I mean, it was good before. It's got the cassis that you would expect in there, some red tree fruit. I felt there was a bit of leather and a slight bit of vanilla in it, but the leather has kind of gone along with the sulfur that was on the palate during the first tasting. So if you get a bottle, I would definitely decant it or at least aerate and then let it kind of cool, as in cooling its jets and letting it calm down and kind of meld with the with your climate there. And give it a few turns in the glass. People often comment on the size of my wine glasses, but I like to move my wine around an awful lot and keep the oxygen in and just keep it aired up, so to speak. It's just a personal thing with me. But I am definitely going to finish that whole bottle tonight. So, yeah, fantastic vino. Lovely stuff. So here we are. We're back into normal. Happy Boxing Day to all of you in the UK and those who celebrate around the world. It is night number 2 of Hanukkah. So here we have it. Menorah's lit, ready to go. Let's jump in this grid and see what we've got here today. So move my mouse ever so gingerly. And Italian cream cheese. I guess 10 letters. I mean, I don't know. Looking at it, like thinking, well, why shouldn't you put mascarpone in there? I don't have a good reason not to, so I'm going to go ahead and do that since that's what I think it is. So come together could be to merge. Okay, so far our Yank is on a strong start. Loaf holder, 5 and 3. How about a bread box? Oh yeah, I felt I'd miskeyed something. So yeah, nice. Okay. Locks, washer. I don't know what I had done here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have no excuse. Okay. Get back on order here. I was thinking, well, that sounds like shampoo, but it ain't gonna be shampoo if we got this completely. Oh gosh, these mitts! I swear. Okay, C, maybe a spy with my little. What is wrong with me today? Is it me or is it this thing here? Order for unruly teenager. Oh. I'm trying to look here. Yes. See where I have that old 1980s model desk analog phone on the second shelf. The first shelf from the top right behind me over there where my finger's pointing. That's a black Jaguar automobile collectible telephone. And when you call it, its eyes light up red or green. I can't remember. I haven't had it plugged in years. But right behind that, right there, that big wide white book with the red letters that say Martin, and it covers over the Amos. That's Lionel Asbo, The State of England. Sir Martin Amos wrote that, gosh, back 20 years ago or so. I can't remember exactly how long I've had it. It's about due for a reread, but that's the only reason I would even know this one. Asbo. I think, wasn't it Tony Blair that kind of came up with something along those lines? Came up with a rule for just being decent or orderly, or I can't remember, something to do with being, I don't know. What did we used to call that when we were all angry back in the 80s? Those of us who were in that punk ska, new wave, well, I was kind of into like the Style Council and stuff like that. I really liked the glam pop, but I'll be honest with you, we were always so disenfranchised, beating out to the Clash, right, and Bauhaus and, just you name it, right? Let's see. So, grandfather clock swinger, it'd be a pendulum. So, clearly, we're not talking about a bread box, talking about a bread bin, maybe. And again, sandboxes and sand pits. Do we not have bread boxes in England? Are they bread bins? That's fine. I just want to know. I don't want to sound like an idiot when I go and say, I noticed I don't have a bread box in my Airbnb, and then they'll be like, well, we have a bread bin though in the cupboard. I don't know. So there's pendulum. I hope I spelled that correctly. I'm not having the best typing day. Area for group of 12. I probably need a little bit more than that. Stylish, need a little bit more than that. Grub. What do you think? Food or chow? I'm going to go with food, just considering that it's England that we're talking about. Great Britain, United Kingdom. Group with similar characteristics. I can think of would be like a cohort. And so I guess stylish could be nifty. I've heard it used that way, but we don't typically say that in the States. I think in Yank English, we would probably call something stylish, maybe shishi or fa-fa, or, I don't know, dapper, perhaps, something like that. Nifty would be something like it would almost be synonymous with neato or cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nifty. I'm thinking, but the different, I just wouldn't say it for something stylish. Oh, he's dressed so nifty tonight. Wouldn't, come on. So now I think we've got a jury box. Why isn't it a jury bin? I don't understand. Someone please make sense of this for me. This is great. On-hand entertainer. Oh, Lord. 5 and 6. I don't know. Used too often? Pungent bulb. Oh, gosh. One of the members of the peerage in Dorset, who was the territorial colonel for the regiment that I was training with there in the Royal Wessex Yeomanry. And I can't remember if he was an earl or a duke. I don't think we referred to him as Your Grace. I think it may have been an earl, but I'm not quite sure. I just don't remember. I just remember he came in and he was telling us we were going to be spending some time in France, and then he referred to the French as garlic eaters. And I thought, oh no, but I like garlic too. I'm not going to fit in here. Turns out, British like garlic just fine. It was okay. So this is looking like it could be like a glove puppet. I don't think I've ever heard that term. We would call them maybe a hand puppet in the States. Interesting. I'm not saying one's right or wrong. I mean, this is clearly English. What we speak, I think, in Yankeeville is probably all slang, right? I mean, I think English comes from England. I think to that degree. But yeah, we would probably say a hand puppet in the States. So used too often. I don't know. I mean, like I want to say trite, worn out, tired, overdone, right? But nothing's working with glove puppet like that. So I don't know what we've got here. So we'll figure this out. Hopefully in a bit. Cause to show effects of exhaustion. Wow. Okay. This is where I'm gonna get hemmed up. 0 at 5. I'm going to just go with zilch, and that Z ought to make this easier for us. It's just not a very common letter. So I guess it could be to frazzle. I guess you could really frazzle someone's nerves or something along those lines, or however the British would put it. So used too often with a question mark, I guess could be maybe well worn. I mean, when you like something a lot, that's what tends to happen to it, right? I mean, factory could be a mill. Paste, gem. Well, I guess that's, you're looking for a rhinestone here. Olympian god, we'll go with, I don't think Eros is going to fit in there, and I don't think he would by definition, so let's just go with, not Eros. I can't believe I just said I wasn't going to put that in there. Obviously, long day for me. Submissive, maybe obedient. Condition at 7. Locks tidier. So we're not talking about cleaning. We're talking about making tidy. So perhaps a comb. So I guess a condition. Okay, the definition, I get it now. Under one condition with the proviso, with the caveat. Head. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, our Yank had his W ripped right out of his hands. He was guilty of counting his chickens before they hatched, because I don't have a freaking clue. I don't even know how to make something up. I mean, but just for fun, and I will not count it if it's right. What do I hear y'all say? Oh, that's his bins. Bins. Maybe a B-I-N-Z. Bins. We got a clue. Just like that, it was taken from, oh my gosh, ripped right out of my hands. And the Oscar goes to Christopher, and then I get all excited and I go up there and I grab the Oscar, and then they sell the rest of their name. You know, Comstock. What? Oh, who's Christopher Comstock? I mean, yeah, that's how this feels for me. Let's go ahead and do a check all. I'll take a slap on the face. Okay, I wasn't even close to right on that. So, but it looks like I got everything else right. Still in a bit of a bind on a bread bin, jury box, sand pit. No rhyme or reason there. We have jury boxes too in the States, but we have bread boxes and sand boxes. Apparently we just like boxes in the United States. So, didn't mean to do that. Oh Lord, no, don't go upsetting the disturbance of the force. You don't need to do that. So what do we got here? A bonds. Never heard of it. Not once in my life. But it was nice to see Sir Martin make the grid today. He's absolutely my favorite author, contemporary author, followed closely by Ian McEwan. Salman Rushdie's in there as well. I mean, there's several. I've always been what they call a British literature snob in the States, but there's just something about it. It's just the descriptiveness of it all. Don't get me wrong. I mean, America produces some great writers, right? We even gave some to you, like Thomas Stearns Eliot, right? You know, I mean, he started out an American, right? You know, and I think he was the Anglo route, right? Not very much so. But no, we've got wonderful writers everywhere, you know. It's just that there's just something about English literature, British literature that really moves me. I don't know, and I think Ian McEwan's got to be, I mean, he's up there close to maybe, I don't know. I think he and Martin Amis, Sir Martin, are probably the same in regard to, you know, that level of talent and the ability to just weave words into these majestic tapestries are just unreal. So it's good to see him in there. I was also a fan of Sir Martin's father, Sir. I can't believe I'm just drawing a blank on Sir Martin Amos's father's name. I mean, it's the other Amos. He's the famous one. He was also a knight. I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank on him. I mean, I've even got there's a framed portrait of him in the other room, of him passed out on a beach, and his wife sat there and wrote on his back in lipstick, one fat, and then, some other things. I just can't believe it. Reginald, Amos. I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I just slapped myself in the face. But I got that from the grid, so no wonder. I still must be in shock over the grid. So this was a fantastic grid. We'll go ahead and out with the old and in with the new. And again, I want to wish everybody a happy second day of Hanukkah, and a second night of Hanukkah, and I'd like to also say happy Boxing Day. We've got New Year's coming up pretty soon, so just be safe in the meantime, as we'd all like for everybody to kind of make it back in one piece wherever it is you're going to be going, heading out to. Enjoy your time with your family and your friends. This is the wonderful time of year to do that. And so, it's Sir Kingsley Amos. I mean, how could I let that drop out of my mind? How could I let that drop out of my vocabulary? Unbelievable. So until tomorrow, Sir Kingsley Amos would say, Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Servus, Grüß Gott, Ciao, Cin-Cin. And until we meet again for tomorrow's grids, and maybe read a little bit of, maybe a passage or two of Sir Kingsley Amos's work, be good to yourselves, be good to your neighbors, and be especially kind to the people behind you in the queue. Be well out there, my friends.